At 55 years old, what is it like not being on gear versus having been on gear? It's a tremendous difference. Huge difference. It's been eye-opening in many regards, right? Because some people, you have the camp that wants to credit everything that you do with gear. Gear. Same group of people are going to say that I am on gear when I get done a couple months from now, what I'm going to look like training naturally, eating properly, etc., etc. Of course, all of this stuff has to be revamped. The approach is completely different. You know, as a guy that's not augmenting his test levels, it's completely different than when I am augmenting test levels. That's a whole different series of videos. But you know, you have the camp that wants to credit everything you do with gear, and then you have the camp that says it's just a finishing touch, or it's in spite of the gear, everything else still has to be, you know, on point, etc., etc. It's not going to make a difference. And there are examples of both sides of that coin. I've seen examples of guys that are clearly drug physiques that are made of nothing. When they come off, they completely dry up and blow away. This is me off for a few months now. Off. We're talking really short esters that would have cleared my body in a couple of weeks completely. And so I've been off months now. In that time, I haven't really trained, haven't really worked out. I have not eaten like a guy that was worried about muscle loss or, you know, retaining muscle at all, because I kind of just wanted to let myself get into average dad bod type of guy condition. I mean, as much as possible. Come on, I know it sounds ridiculous, but as much as possible, so that I could take it from there and show you the difference, what it looks like, you know, just by adding in what I consider proper training and nutrition, just to add a regimented type of approach and the difference it makes. But there's a whole lot of other changes at my age, at guys our age. I can tell you right now, there's a whole lot of other aspects to the testosterone augmentation or supplementation, what it brings to the table, besides just the muscle gain or just the, you know, you're talking about on gear, you know, I know I'm talking tons of gear. On gear, you have a lot more drive. You have a lot more motivation. You just can push through everything harder, more easily. You know, your motivation to be in the gym, it's a lot easier to get into the gym and get it done. It's more important. It just seems more important to you to do it. And again, my perspective is tainted. I've been doing this so many decades. I've been in shape pretty much most of my life. From one type of athletic endeavor to another. You know, the bodybuilding was later years, really. I mean, I was an old, grown adult man before I really got seriously involved into trying to build muscle, really seriously. But I've always been in really good shape. So for me, the motivation to get back into the gym feels like I'm loving the time out of the gym. I don't care. I'm old enough and I've been doing this long enough that my self-esteem's not wrapped up in my physical appearance to the degree that I don't care that I've just lost like 40 pounds of muscle. I don't care that I'm not as strong, or I'm not, I don't look the same now. It's, whatever. Yeah. It's awesome, nice to walk around huge and muscular. I like that. It's fun. But the trade-off, what do you got to do for that? Just the actual going and working, and you do have to go to the gym. The actual going and training and eating and all these priorities, I really am enjoying that not being a priority and that not being really important in my life. I'm enjoying that right now. So the thought of going back to that, which I'm getting ready to do without gear, without testosterone augmentation, just going back to that even naturally, it's just not that inviting to me. I'm going to do it, but it's just not that thrilling. And it's harder for me to be driven to do it. On the gear, yeah, you're a lot more driven. Off the gear, not as driven, especially for me at my age. Other issues are these physical manifestations. Ever since I've been like way off the gear, man, I have like this connective tissue pain on the inside of my elbow. Even just to touch it, it hurts, right? And I've never in my life had that, ever. On gear, no pains at all. No pains, no joint pains. Sure, I had injuries, but no joint pains, no tendinitis, no connective tissue stuff, no carpal tunnel syndrome, none of this kind of stuff going on. No problems. Feeling great at my age. Feel great, no problems. Nothing even on the horizon like that. Off the gear, I have this pain now, and now a new thing I'm starting to have is in my hand. I can't even hardly squeeze my fist together. This middle finger, whatever's going on in this joint here, now I don't know if it was from all the years of fighting or whatever, just catching up to me now, but with the declination of the hormones in my body, and you know, when you elevate testosterone, you're messing around with a whole mix of hormones. You're not just changing testosterone level. That's influencing other parts of your body, other parts of that axis are changing, and maybe we don't even understand every bit of it. We really probably don't, everything that's involved. So now I have some inflammation, not really a lot of inflammation, but a lot of pain, and for me to make a really good, solid, hard fist, right hand fine, left hand hurts like a bitch to squeeze. I'm not loving that. I make my living with my hands, so I'm not loving that at all. It's just this kind of stuff, just the overall day in and day out quality of health, quality of life, so just the feeling of health that I enjoy, augmenting the testosterone. Now, without the testosterone, man, that shit's not good. So I don't know how that's going to shake out to be. Maybe the supplementation is going to have to be different. People scream about supplements that don't work and shit, but a supplement is a supplement. It's meant to augment something else. It's in addition to something else. It's just to shore up something else that's not quite covering all the bases. And so, yeah, that will work. If there's a hole somewhere and you fill it with a supplement, you supplement something to fill that hole, yeah, it does work as a supplement. And it could very well be that because I don't assimilate things the same without the test, when I'm on gear, everything works better. I'm more efficient digesting food, assimilating nutrition, absorbing nutrition, repairing tissue, growing, even at leaning down. All of that is much more efficient. Basically, if you look at yourself no gear and imagine yourself with gear, the difference is going to be more of everything. Basically, if you look like a lump of shit with no gear, you're going to be a bigger lump of shit on gear. You're just going to be bigger, that's all. You're going to be a little bit leaner. But if you look pretty decent, you're going to look better, more decent. You're going to look great. If you look like hell, it's not going to take somebody that just looks totally like shit and do something good for you. It's just not. But it kind of exaggerates what you already have. So if you already look good, you're going to look more of that. You're going to, if you already are lean and all that, you're going to look leaner. If you're already muscular, you're going to look more muscular. That kind of stuff. But for us older guys, it's a different game. It's totally different. The testosterone augmentation, it's critical for your well-being and everything. It's just critical. Physically, why would I stop taking testosterone when I feel this way on it and now I feel this way off of it? Off of it now, I feel older physically than I have felt ever. On, no aches, no pains, literally nothing. No joint aches, no nothing. Off of it, I'm starting to have a bunch of that kind of stuff. So it may also be that I'm going to need to start to augment different minerals and micronutrients to maybe try to make up for that or fill a hole somewhere the diet's not adequate to take care of. Or maybe my absorption is just, the percentage is so much lower that I just need more of some things. I don't know. So I'm going to figure it out as I go. I'm not going back on, because first I want to see what I can do without it. Now I'm going to tell you straight up, if all these pains persist and we get a couple months down the road, into the summer, I'm going to look good. I'm going to look big. There's no question. Not like I would on gear, but it's different for everybody. What I can do without it, I think that I can look pretty awesome without it. I think I can look awesome enough without it that most people, especially haters, it'll burn their balls so hard they'll definitely swear there's no way he's off. You know, but people that know me and in real life and in person, how huge I actually walk around normally compared to what I look like now, it's night and day. Night and day. Most place you can see is my neck. Surprisingly, I mean, you can see how my neck, I look like a pencil neck almost now. And before, big, thick neck, all that, you know, just dense. And I'm not walking around like that now. But it's dramatic difference. Sleep, I need more sleep, you know, than when I'm on. You know, so basically what I'm saying is I'm not trying to tell you that as a younger cat that already feels great and you're, you know, in your prime, that you're going to have the same experience on and off a gear. So I'm not trying to tell you go out and get on some test. You probably don't need it. You know, even though most people are low in the U.S., most people are low. Comparatively speaking, you're lower than what your grandfather was. You know, so I would say it's across the board. 24-year-old guy, 25-year-old guy. Wherever you're at, you may still be adequate, but your grandpa, if you're adequate, he was probably high, naturally. You know, so you pay the price of the time you're born into, you know, what we've done to this world. Anyway, but you older guys, the TRT, test augmentation in light of your age and the decline in your natural hormone productions, man, I think it's almost mandatory. If you still have to work for a living, you still have to function and stay complete. So it's a night and day difference. Being off is just totally different. It's more than just superficial, you know, hey, I don't look as hard, I don't look as full, I'm not as muscular, you know, etc., etc. I can also tell you this, diet-wise, when on, I'm kind of like a furnace. I can eat a lot more stuff. I can cheat a lot more. My diet can be much, it can be a lot looser than now. You know, when I'm on, I can get away with a whole bunch of sins. Now, the only way I can get away with that is crank up the cardio. So it's different. You're going to have to work a lot harder without it. And it could also be, I don't know what my natural production level is. I know that it has come back up because I felt like pure shit. Like about 6 weeks after I was off, I felt like total crap. And I do feel better now. I felt myself improving. So I would say without getting tested, which I will down the road, I think my test levels I'm making something, you know, so who knows? I would venture to say that I would probably naturally was probably pretty high, you know, and now I'm low. There's no question I'm low, but at least I'm not dick in the dirt totally, you know. Anyway, and then again, who even knows with that? I have a buddy, like I told you before, named Joe, and he's certified low, you know, tested low, like 130 something, and he's very muscular. Now, I don't know how much energy the man has. I don't know how good he feels, but he looks great. And he's carrying a lot of muscle, and he's natural. He doesn't look like, you know, a competitive, you know, pro bodybuilder. He's not that size, but he's pretty damn big for a natural guy. He's pretty damn big. Well, that's it. I just want to throw that out there, man, for anybody that's curious or interested. Dramatic difference coming off. Dramatic difference. Totally. Everything's harder. I need more sleep. I probably need more supplementation with certain vitamins and minerals, you know, the micros. I have joint pains and connective tissue pains that never existed before. God knows. Maybe there's some facet of it was staving off arthritis or any of this kind of shit. Who the hell knows? Who knows? There may be a connection somewhere there. And by being off now, what am I going to have these injuries and this shit that's coming on, this old age, these artifacts or whatever of old age? Is that shit going to stay around, stick with me forever now, even if I go back on once it gets to a certain degree and gets a hold on me? Because I've never felt this kind of shit before. I don't know, but there you go right there. So people can hate all they want, all you little busters out there, but if at 55 my choices are, I can feel like this, maybe worse, or I can augment testosterone and I can still get the job done, get it done like I was young still and feel like that. No pains, no aches, don't need as much sleep, etc., etc. I'm going to go with the testosterone. You know, I'm going to give this a fair shake because I said I'm going to do it. I'm in for, you know, the duration. I'm going to see what I can do naturally and we'll see how it goes. But these aches, these pains, they continue to come on and I'll keep you informed. And the ones that are already here don't subside or I can't find a way to treat it or balance something, you know, get a respectable quality of life out of it without all these incursions of fucking old age that I'm feeling, then only a fucking idiot would stay off of testosterone. Literally. Anyway, that's it. And again, I'm not saying tons and tons of shit. That's not good either. But I'm saying a little something, you know. Anyway, make of it whatever you will. I'll be back. Take care. Have a great weekend.